Elon Musk, the Prime Minister of India, Starlink, bullet ballots. The 2024 election was not a free and fair election. Let's dive into that. Welcome to Scrying Out Loud. My name is Trevor. I had received an image clairvoyantly about a week after the election that was of Elon Musk and Prime Minister Modi of India having a secret meeting. And as I've dived into that using various techniques, I think there's a connection there that we need to talk about. So, if you were on Twitter before the election happened, you probably noticed a bunch of posts from various accounts saying things like just went grocery shopping, spent $300 for enough food for 4 days, which, is kind of absurd. And not kind of absurd, it is absurd. Um, and you might have also noticed a lot of tweets showing the devastation going on in Gaza. My question is, I don't think that these accounts that were sending out these tweets were uh, bots because I think they were slightly too sophisticated for that. I don't think AI is quite there yet, but it will be there in the future, unfortunately. So, a lot of the scams in the United States originate out of the big cities in India. And so, the question that I have is, were these fake accounts promoting the idea that groceries and rent were in fact more expensive than they were in reality, and promoting these images of the atrocities going on in Gaza? Were these accounts being generated by big troll farms in India? So, were these accounts on Twitter being generated by big troll farms in India? So I'm seeing these just massive rooms of people sitting behind computers, interacting with one another, happy to get a good paycheck, not really thinking about what was probably what they were doing. So let's see what the cards say. Yeah, I mean, immediately we get the Seven of Swords. We're trying to get away with something, right? Something um untoward, right? This is the card for the thief. So um we got the exchange of money with the Two of Pentacles. So money was being exchanged to do these operations. Again, I mean, the cards tell the story. We get the Six of Pentacles. This is about giving and receiving of money. So not only were they doing it, they were doing it for financial gain. And we'll get into who was funding that in just a second. Yeah, we get a tower in the past. The past already happened. That was the election. Uh, the tower moment was uh, that these plans worked. And whether the people that were doing them were knowing or realizing that they were part of a bigger plan to influence the US election, that's a different question. But it had its desired effect. With the lovers, this is partnerships, usually partnerships that um, are beneficial. So I think there was a partnership between Musk and the Prime Minister of India, and we'll get into why I think that here in the next question. We get the Queen of Cups in the near future. The Four of Pentacles, in the way that people saw this, they saw it about stability. This is often depicted in the Rider Waite Tarot kind of as a guy clenching a pentacle, like kind of like a miser. People were concerned about their finances. I mean, I think we all are. So playing on that was part of the goal. Uh, the way they saw it, we get the Four of Wands, which is about celebrations. They were pretty content what was happening. In the hopes and fears, we get the Star card. I think this is a hope. I think we're wishing that all this gets exposed and that the election interference from foreign entities and domestic entities just stops. So that's the Star card. And then uh, the outcome is the Page of Cups. So the message was received by the people using Twitter, and it worked. And not just Twitter. I mean, there's probably TikTok and other things going on, but as far as it pertains to Elon Musk, I think Twitter's there. Why were they doing it? Ten of Wands. There are heavy burdens. Uh, Trump was not in a position to win this election. They needed to change that. We get the Three of Cups. Um, it's about circles of support. So they were building this coalition of people to help get him elected. And how did they do it? Well, there was a spy in the camp. This is the Page of Swords. The spy in the camp, I think in this case, is actually Elon Musk himself, uh, going against uh, everything decent in order to get his candidate elected so that he doesn't have to face regulation, so that he can get away with doing this type of stuff to manipulate other markets. He's not just interested in manipulating the United States, he's interested in manipulating all countries so that he can gain financial reward. Okay. So these big troll farms in India were being used to um, spread these tweets about the cost of living, over exaggerating how much it was, how much it had increased. Also, talking about how the economy was poor. You know, it was always perplexing to a lot of people on why the perception of the public was that the economy was really poor when unemployment was so low and wages had gone up for a lot of people. Now, I don't think that's true for everybody, but for, you know, the people, you know, making more than 60, 70,000, their wages had gone up. That's for sure. The people under that range maybe didn't quite see the same growth. So I think, you know, why was the economy being perceived? I think this was the first canary in the coal mine, was that people were saying that the economy was bad when it wasn't. People were saying gas prices were all of a sudden too high when they really hadn't increased that much compared to the midterm elections in 2022. Um, when Democrats did fine, even though inflation was still an issue, it was a concern. And that's when inflation kind of took a turning point, right? And things started to kind of level off. It didn't, I mean, we don't have deflation, and I don't think we want that. But anyhow, so why would Modi be interested, Prime Minister Modi, why would he be interested in, see if we can, let's get some pictures. So the war in Ukraine was the starting point of this. So I see an image. So it's an older image, maybe from when Trump was president the first time, of Modi walking away from Trump, kind of and people are laughing. I don't really know what they're, I can hear kind of what they're saying, but I don't understand it. Koof, Bakoof. I don't know um what that means, but uh, I think Modi at that time realized that Trump was probably really easy to manipulate. Biden and Modi. I think Biden was really hard on Modi. Um, India had decided not to participate in the sanctions against Russia after the war in Ukraine. And I think Biden made it very clear how unhappy he was with that decision for India to go ahead and keep buying Russian oil. Um, so I think Modi didn't want, if Modi had to choose, he would have chosen Trump. So I think the question we should ask now was Elon Musk funding these troll farms that were sending out these tweets? Was Elon Musk funding these troll farms? So I'm getting an image kind of like a, we used to call them in the old days a phone tree, where like this person's to call this person who's to call to this person if there's a snowstorm or something like that. So I think if he was, it was funneled, and it was funneled through several different channels so that it wouldn't be obvious that he was. So let's see what the cards was. Elon Musk funding these troll farms. I'm sure getting a very big pulse yes, but let's see what the cards say. I mean, he spent $250 million on promoting Trump through super PACs. I don't think spending, I think that amount of money probably would have paid for it all in India. Yeah, I mean, devil card, misinformation, disinformation. That was his goal. Um, yeah, this is the Three of Wands. You can see the ships in the distance. So this is about, you know, at least the way I'm interpreting it in this reading is um, waiting for one ship to come in, the ship being that from overseas. So waiting to get the reward of his investment that he made in these troll farms. We get the Page of Wands. This is a fiery message being delivered, a stinging message. Um, and that was the message that was being sent to the American people that the economy sucked, that, you know, your rent is even higher than it is. Um, Groceries are more expensive than it is, and or they are. It's one thing when we interact with our neighbors and they tell us they're having a hard time affording groceries. It's another thing to see it in the abstract of everybody's having a hard time affording groceries, but you might not fit that bill. And but it's not hard, like if you're repeatedly told that and the media plays along with that, it's not hard to see how everyone was led to believe that the situation was super dire. So in the past, we get wish fulfillment. He was successful. This is the Nine of Cups. Um, yeah, he was successful in this endeavor. Uh, how did he do it? He did it with a lot of money. We got the Nine of Pentacles. Uh, in the near future, we got strength. He's pretty damn proud of himself. And, it would behoove us as a community to figure out how we move forward so that he doesn't have that much power. Uh, yeah, I mean, this is just confirmation that we're on the right track. We get the Emperor card, which is the card for, the presidency. That's why he was doing it. We get the Three of Pentacles, circles of support and financial ways. That was this going back and forth. Again, this reading is for entertainment purposes only. We get the Hermit card. This was meant to make people, this is, I think, a fear, make people feel alone. I mean, if you thought the economy was good, did you feel like you could go out and say that in public, to say that to certain friends? Um, I don't think so. I think we all felt kind of alone and isolated. Even if we thought things were going well, we felt like we couldn't talk about it because of all this stuff. And the outcome is the victor leading the camp and with the Knight of Swords. I like this depiction. Uh, and this particular is the after tarot. So, yeah, Musk knew what was going on and he was funding it. Uh, in the shadow, we get the truth. The truth hasn't been pulled out of the rock yet. I'm sorry, this is the before tarot, not the after. Uh, the truth hasn't been pulled out of the rock yet, but it will. We will get the truth eventually on what was going on as long as we stay focused. And we get the King of Wands, and then we get the Six of Cups. This is about intergenerational messaging and support. So, you know, older people on Twitter spreading the message to younger people spreading it to their parents. And, there's a funny episode of The Big Bang Theory where they talk about meme theory and how quickly a meme spreads. If one person tells two people and those two people each tell two people and those two people each tell two people, after you've gone about 20 cycles, you've told the entire country, right? So, um, yeah, Musk was behind the funding of these troll farms in India that were using these fake accounts, and they were creating these profiles so that the profiles appeared that they had been on Twitter for many years. They put fake posts that they backdated to make them look like they weren't new. And I think some of them, let's see if we can't tap into that. Yeah, it was pretty sinister. I think, you know, I kind of doubt a lot of these accounts still exist today, but somebody might be able to pull them up. I see, praises of Obama in some of these feeds. So it's almost like sending the message of, yeah, I liked President Obama, but things are really bad now. And also, we didn't get into this, but this is still going on. And this, I don't think, is related to the election interference that Musk was planning, but I think it contributed. And that's all these fake accounts, and I'm pretty sure they're originating in India that claim to be people that are victims of the atrocities in Gaza, asking for money through GoFundMe accounts. And I've gotten messages, even on Blue Sky, these things exist. And if you just wait 2 days, the account's deleted, right? They get a little bit of money and then they delete the account because they're just not true. So I hope nobody has given money to them, but if you have, things happen, move on. It's easy to get wrapped up in that for sure. Okay. So Modi wanted Trump president so that he could, continue to keep his country thriving in the sense of having cheap oil, cheap energy. Massive infrastructure was allowed to be built with all this money savings. India is an up and coming power. That is for sure. Um, yeah. So let's move on. I think that pretty much covers that part of this really terrible operation that uh, Musk had going. And we'll look into this next time, but I'm pretty sure some crimes were committed. And I think Musk is scared about that. And you might say, well, Trump controls the DOJ. He can just pardon Musk. Well, he can't pardon him from state crimes, right? Like, I think he's already being investigated in Pennsylvania for, um, you know, giving out those big checks, right? Sign my petition and I'll give you $1 million in a lottery. I think there's already some investigation. So I think Musk is very concerned about some of these things becoming public because I think they did violate a lot of state laws as well as federal laws. Okay, Starlink and bullet ballots. Let me just try. I've tapped into this a few times. Let me open this again. So, what do we need to know about Starlink and these bullet ballots? So, I'm getting the double card again. I think this is a misinformation play to distract us from the crimes that really were committed. I don't think ballots were changed using Starlink. I don't think um, ballots were added to the pool using bullet ballots. I think this is, again, a misinformation play to distract from the actual real crime, playing on people's hopes that maybe Trump really did not win. And we read last time, yeah, there were irregularities, there were ballots that were miscounted, but in the end, none of those irregularities changed the outcome. So I don't think any of this is true. I think it is a big, massive play to keep people busy and not looking at the subtle nature of the way they went about this. But let's just see what the cards say. So, were the rumors that were the allegations that Starlink were the allegations that Musk used Starlink to change votes in favor of Trump, and the allegations that large amounts of ballots were added to the pool where the only line that was voted on was for the president. Those are called bullet ballots. Were those allegations just part of a misinformation campaign to keep the public from focusing on the true crimes of the election? I mean, I could be wrong, but it seemed Musk, Musk talking with a bunch of people in suits. I don't know what I can't hear what they're saying, but feels like it's kind of like go and spread this rumor. It'll keep them off the real crimes we did. So, um, was Musk and his cohorts and other people in the MAGA universe with Starlink conspiracy and bullet ballot conspiracy just a way to distract people from the true crimes? See what the cards say. Yeah, I mean, we get the Queen of Swords uh, challenged by people getting ready to fight. It was part of the fight. Uh, they realized there was a heavy price to pay if they didn't do something that's in their subconscious. Uh, Money was the driver of it all to hide the fact that money was exchanging hands. Uh, and yeah, I mean, the Starlink conspiracy and the bullet ballot conspiracy was just a means to an end to end this cycle of people actually looking into the fact that these fake accounts were created. The algorithm in Twitter was changed to promote those accounts and suppress accounts with pro Biden and pro Harris messages. Yeah, in the near future, we got they feel like they've got a new start with the Ace of Pentacles, but they're wrong. The Starlink, this card can be taken a couple different ways. This is the Seven of Cups. The Starlink conspiracy and the bullet ballot conspiracy, it's a delusion. But I think this also means that they're living in a delusional and illusional state if they think they're going to get away with this not being revealed. We have the Knight of Wands again. This fiery message was being delivered. The message was being delivered. Why? It was delivered to distract because the hope that the election was so fraudulent that the outcome would be changed was a big enough distraction that people weren't going to focus on these smaller details that are in complete violation of laws. And we'll look into that more next time. Uh, Bombshells and in the hopes and fears. Let's hope this is a hope that there will be bombshells and revelations, and this will all come out. We do have the full moon coming up in Gemini on December 15th. Um, could be, that's kind of what that might be. That might be a good timing. I'm not saying that's going to happen on December 15th, but um, it feels like if there's going to be some big revelations in the near future, it'll be around that time. Um, yeah, and the outcome, yeah, this is sad. Uh, the outcome, this is my card for Biden, but now that Biden's not going to be president, it's kind of my card for the Democrats, I guess. And, he's spilling uh, the way the images I'm focusing on here is this cup is dumping out everything they work for. We feel like it's lost, um, but it's not. We just have to focus on the right things. Yeah, and in the shadow energies, we have the moon. So uh, things are coming to the surface. You can see the crab there crawling out of the lake and coming to the surface to reveal itself. This card has been coming up a lot because there was so much trickery and thievery. But let's hope there are some smarter people out there that are working on this because you can see at the bottom of the Seven of Swords card, there's a rope that's about to catch the thief. So let's have hope that this gets exposed because I think it will. And then the last shadow energy, we get the Nine of Wands. These are the weary warriors. We're not sure how to proceed. Those of us that supported Harris and that are just anti-MAGA in general, we're not sure how to proceed, but we'll figure out a way. All right. So only about 5% of the people that watch my videos are subscribed. So if you're not subscribed, please hit that subscription button. It's completely free for you. So costs you nothing and it helps the channel grow. Please like, share, and subscribe. Next time, we'll dive into some of the actual crimes that were committed and who committed them. So we'll ask questions such as, um, did Elon Musk commit any state crimes that he might be charged for, that kind of things. Um, Keep commenting. I like the comments. It gives me ideas of what you guys want to hear about. Anyhow, thank you so much for watching, liking, sharing, subscribing, and those of you that donated money to me through my PayPal. Thank you. I don't expect it, but very humbled by it. So thanks everyone. I'll upload a video again soon. Thanks.